Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland State Fair and the Timonium races. Dave Rodman along with Jackie Savoy today, filling in for Stanton Salter. Don't worry, Stan will be here with his picks later this afternoon, but it's great to have you here on the set live at Timonium as we have 20 more races to go. 10 today, 10 tomorrow for the Big T meet. 1:05 post time today and tomorrow. Nice day for racing, Jackie.
It's going to be another gorgeous day. I kind of enjoy the overcast weather. It's been really good on me and not taking a lot out. And I think we're already getting pretty crowded through here today.
Yeah, nice big family day. Lots of families strolling in for the Labor Day weekend. Nice crowd yesterday to watch the Coalition Stakes and Colonel Sharp, who won the Coalition yesterday. And I'm surprised he didn't really go off favorite. They hit the horse on the outside, the Ness horse, the last minute. He was actually second choice in the wagering, but great job on horseback yesterday out on the track. Something new here at the Big T. Jackie out there on the pony, getting some winning words from J.D. Acosta in the Coalition Stakes. Well, Gerald Brooks has, I think I counted 5 in today, if I'm not mistaken. So he wants that trainer's title, too. Yeah, Gerald Brooks. Here we go. He's got one in the 4th, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 10th. So 5 in today, and he's got a 1-win lead over Kieran McGee, who's got some chances today. 4 wins for Brooks as leading trainer coming into the second last day of the meet.
I agree. And like I said, he comes in to win, and he comes in hot. He shipped them all down from Presque Isle. He's leaving them here. They're all going to stay at Pimlico for the winner. So he's going for it. And Kieran's hot on his heels, and Kieran's got quite a few in this the next 2 days as well, doesn't he?
3 for McGee, yeah, he does. Joan Reynolds with 3 tied there for second place. She's having a bang-up meet as well. And then Hugh McMahon, Cal Lynch, Fergal's in Kentucky,
You're
brother,
close.
Lynch family, Phil Schoenthal, Wayne Potts, and Beth Wharton with 2 apiece. J.D. Acosta leading the riders pack with 6. Over Angel Cruz, Aaron Walker, who's riding basically for Gerald Brooks, but does have a mount in the opener for Ann Merriman, and Johan Rosado with 4, too.
Yeah, Aaron came by our barn the other day, and looks like Ann was like, that's my new favorite jockey, I think. So Ann's going to try to name her on quite a few.
Yeah, fits the horse well.
Yep,
so not only Brooks staying with those horses, brought down most of them, and so I guess we'll see her face a lot, I guess, at Laurel, right?
Yeah, there was no for sure if she was going to stay or not, but I just got the vibe that she's doing so well with Brooks. If he's going to stay, why not?
Why not? Why not? Timonium springboard, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look at the action today, Jackie. I have an early pick 5 ticket this afternoon. We have the early pick 5, the late pick 5, both with 12% takeouts. Rolling super high 5s, the races with 7 or more wagering interests, and our 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 as well. And that will start today in the 5th race with a $736 carryover in the Rainbow. And it's mandatory payouts on those gimmicks tomorrow as well. So the opener, Jackie, at 4 furlongs. Oh, there's so much information to digest here. I went 1, 6, 4, and 3. We'll tell you more about all the information we have here in the opener. 1, 6, 4, and 3. Jackie went 5, 3, 4, 6. But here's my early pick 5 ticket. It's going to be $24 ticket. 2 by 2 by 2 by 3. It's 1, 6 with 6, 9 with 3, 4 with 5, 7. Digging a little deeper in the final leg, 3, 4, 5. A reasonable ticket. Going to hit one before the end of the meet, I hope.
Well, you know what? I actually thought today, out of so far the whole meet, that today wasn't more of an even race for everything. There wasn't a ton of drop downs today. A couple of the races were pretty evenly matched, so those will be of some good betting value.
I mean, a lot of our picks are all across the board here. Beginning with the opener, I went 1, 6, 4, 5. But tell us about the 5-year Bindlor. That's a jockey change to Kevin Gomez and put Yoma Ortega on the 7, Classy Bows. Blinkers on, number 8, Buster's Brother. We'll touch on in a moment. You're very familiar with that horse. And number 4, Great Nation, is not a first-time gelding. So that's why I'm telling you we have a lot to digest here.
Well, I was looking at the 5. Again, I was trying to go in an angle, always trying to beat the chalk. And as we know, Timonium is a lot of chalk. But I'm 12 to 1 currently right now, if we're looking. So, but Gomez took the mount back. He rode this horse first time out. And I'm just, first-time starters, sometimes they just need a race. And looking back at this dam, I was just trying to find something that might be of an angle, but most of her foals that have all run and won for less than 6 furlongs as well. But that mare had a ton of speed and was actually a really nice Charlestown dam. The Nicanor kind of threw me off a bit. You know,
Well,
'cause
yeah,
that was
that's
turf.
Barbaro's brother. I mean,
Yeah.
and he has Dinkinors by Dynaformer. You can see why they tried
Exactly.
turf for the first time.
And that's exactly why I said, well, why not? They did the right thing here, dropped the horse in a little bit, wanted to try him on the dirt. Why not? I mean, the
Could-
dam was all dirt.
Could be a different animal on the grass. 3, Soda Pop is a first-time starter by Soaring Empire. I've got that sire with 8% maiden wins. Not a stellar number, but the dam was a multiple 13-time winner, diced and sliced.
Yes, and this is her first foal, so we don't really know too much about. I don't know much about Soaring Empire, and I haven't seen too many foals around this area. But the horse has got a bit of a work tab on it. It has quite a few 4 furlong braces and has a really slow 5/8. Whether that be, I don't know what the track was like that day. We never know. But obviously, this trainer put this horse in for the 4 furlongs, so likes this horse sprinting today.
Okay, Great Nation is a kind of a story horse we discussed before going on the air here, and the fact that the form is listed as first-time gelding when in fact he is not. I thought I remembered last week when he ran August 26 in his debut announcing that he was a gelding, and indeed he was a gelding in debut. So it is not first-time gelding for Great Nation. He ran all right, and a sneaky good all right last week.
He was, and as we touched base on, I was talking to the trainer, and you could kind of see in the replay, but honestly, not that well. And Charlie Frock had said the saddle had slipped pretty far back, so I'm sure the jockey was kind of just checked after that and kind of rode him out. But
When the saddle slips, there's very little
Exactly.
control, and especially when you're going 22-3 or chasing a 22-3 opening quarter mile. I picked him last week. He could bounce back for sure. That's a pick that we have in common for Great Nation. And the 6N, your pick, Grand Champion, who's in my selections as well. I tell you, he's pretty quick for 3 furlongs. This is 4 furlongs. I watched his race at Gulfstream, but anytime you throw up a quarter like that down there and you can clear as he did, that may be all the momentum you need to carry you home.
Exactly, and the same thing again. It was a really quick 3/8. And maybe it's not much of a drop in class, but I like to think Gulfstream is, and actually that's in August. So I would say they're equally the same type of horses.
yeah.
So I have this horse last on my ticket. And I took the angle that he's run before, and hopefully will improve.
Speedy early algorithm son there. I went to the 1 Scoop and Nails on top. He did bobble a little bit last time out and just kind of lost that interest in the race early after the bit of a bobble. Didn't really rally that much, but he gets a rider today, Izar Velasquez. Won a few races utilizing early speed, and he drops in half from maiden 20 to maiden 10. So I'm hoping he's going to show some more early speed. I loved his race on the turf August 11th. Actually picked him last week at Timonium on the dirt try there. Thought he went too fast too soon on the turf, not the kind of action you really want to see on the turf. You just tend to want to close a little bit there at Laurel. So I think he'll show more early speed today.
Yeah, in the last race I was watching, he didn't really miss much at the break. It says he bobbled, but it wasn't terrible. It was right there with them. I just don't know if this horse really wants 4 furlongs.
I don't know if he's as quick as some to his outside. That's what concerns me. But if he gets out of the gate today and the rider's been sending, you never know. Second race, scratch the 1 and the 2 all spun up and a runabout. And we both have the same horse on top here. It's number 9, Stay on Point. Almost got there at 21-1 and a dramatic photo finish last week here at the Big T. Comes out of a couple of key races at Delaware Park, races that have produced winners.
I know, that's the thing. This horse likes to break at the back of the pack and kind of make one run. I've noticed that. But last time almost got up in time. But I'd like to see, obviously, if they can break him sharp and keep him closer. I can guarantee he's probably walked into this race, maybe had a jog day or two, so he should be sharp coming.
He was a little closer at Delaware Park, that's for sure. That's my main concern. Is he's got to close day before yesterday here at the Big T. He was basically all speed. We'll see what we get today. And then with the scratch of the 1 and 2, shortens up the field. Number 6, Wilco's Golden Eyes, a horse that we both have in there. And I really liked him last week as well, but a half mile was too short for him. Today gets more distance. That was a solid race back in mid-June, back behind Glory Hound.
Yeah, and that's what the replay last week was. It was too short, and as you can tell, I'm sure they put him in for the 6.5 because that's what they do. They'll alternate that in the book. But had trouble last out, was pinch going the 4 furlongs, and completely lost your position. And you know, in the 4 furlong races, you can't lose
Can't
your
do it,
position.
right? Midnight Cry, common pick in here. That's the 4. He was claimed for a much higher tag back in the spring, but in for the nickel today. a good effort. Was just behind Stay on Point. Was what they call eighth polar, so to speak. Made the lead top of the stretch here at the Big T, but couldn't hold off King of the Jungle in the late closing. Stay on Point last week.
Yeah, and that horse ran a really big number last out and was just beaten 3/4 of a length. And this was the first race we've seen out of him in a while that he's actually shown a bit of life to him. At least since he's been claimed. He likes this $5,000 company, and he trains with the pony every day without a rider. So that change, and that was a recent change in training for them. So I think he's appreciating that.
Switching things up, maybe woke him up a little bit. Maybe he can get it done. He was certainly very close to our top pick last week. The 7 is Patriotic Quest in that Eubanks barn. Usually when they strike at decent prices. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
The Eubanks barn, very sneaky here. This horse had speed over crosstown at Laurel in early August, and no work since for the 3-year-old, but it fits the conditions of the race and certainly has a lot more speed than maybe Stay on Point will be well placed.
And exactly, that's what I liked about this horse. He does show a little bit of speed. I mean, going the 7 furlongs, he ran actually a decent race last out, and I love Annette's angle here. She has been dropping all of them in, and she's running well. She always has a winner or two for the meet.
Ezekiel Lara, I believe, yesterday
Yes.
with a winner. Okay, third race. Let's go the mile here at the Big T. That's 3 turns. Count on America. Number 1 is scratched. I wound up on Tuffy's Lucky, kind of my long shot play of the day I'll get to in just a few moments. Jackie goes to number 2, Will. Will he or won't he today?
I will. I hope he does. I was looking at a couple of his races. That mile race there at Delaware. That horse Trovanes, I want to say, came back to win a couple more for about the same price. But he was right there, right behind the horse, and just was beaten a neck that day. 4-1. Hugh McMahon had the win in the stake yesterday. He's kind of coming in hot this meet as well.
Yeah, that 1 1/8 last time out was not really to his liking. So they're shortening up to the mile this afternoon at the Big T with his natural early foot, a tactical early speed with Antonio Quiles, who's a good speed rider, should suit him here. 5 horses, your second pick. That's Junction. Junction from the Kenny Cox barn. He'll probably, try to flash that early zip too.
I agree, yep. He didn't run well that race back at Laurel on the muddy track. I don't like to use that as too much of an excuse, but sometimes that matters. He's run 3 times and won on it, so as I said, I can't use it too much. But he had a wide trip the entire way. I watched the race, broke from the gate, was 4 wide, and just kind of didn't have anything at the end there.
Posterity ran at Delaware Park, I believe, was entered here last week and scratched, so they're coming back this week at the Big T. Maybe that was a little too soon to run him back. Good, powerful win there off at turf race of June 29th. Came back, ran a 60 buyer, a $7,500 race with conditions attached to it at Delaware. Makes his first start at Timonium. That turf maybe gave him a leg up, or maybe that was just a powerful race. There have been a couple of winners out of that race in which Posterity bounced out of on June 29, 3 back in the form.
Yeah, I agree. That last race at Delaware, only beaten 5 lengths, but again, I watched that replay. Carol Cedeno had the horse really wide and just kind of, ran up to him, but couldn't get there. They ran away from him. But Conquest Big Luck came back to win a couple races at Parks too, or win a race at Parks. And regardless of that last race, he has been pretty consistent.
It's fantastic. Also in our mix, there was no match last week to Bungalow. Bungalow won back-to-back. 5-length winner at the Big T off a solid win across town at Laurel. Horse that nobody was going to beat last week. So basically it looked like a workout for him. And he's coming back with a week's rest from the Merriman barn.
Exactly.
There.
My kind of home barn, I guess you
Get
could
your home
say.
barn,
So I
yeah.
get to see these horses train every day.
Tell us about it's fantastic then.
And does a fantastic job. Like, this horse he's sharp, he's on his toes, he's ready. I think he's actually going to like the mile around this track. He seems to me like a very one-paced horse, though. So I hope he's a little bit closer, and hopefully speed falls back to him.
All right, well, this is my play of the day, price play of the day. I think he's going to be a forward factor throughout. Hopefully he can be the speed and sustain. Famous last words. I went to that July 27th race for Tuffy's Lucky. That was a nice open $6,000 race. Today drops into a race with some conditions attached. The winner of that race is a 6-time winner. Visual Effect, 3-time winner. The Catman Can's a 5-time winner, and here he is today. He's got some early speed. I think he'll be forwardly placed and dropping in some better company today. Hopefully can press or stay behind maybe Junction if he wants to, and just go ahead and sustain on. And that's my play of the day. I mean, my price play of the day. And I've used him in that early pick 5. That's the reason I use the early pick 5 ticket as our play today for Timonium if you're playing the multi-race sequence.
The thing with Tuffy's Lucky is I'm noticing, I didn't have this horse at all on there, but I think this horse likes the turf. He ran decent last out. Starship Thor is really, really fast. He's been claimed a couple of times between, I think it's Jane Sabelli, Jamie Ness, Jesse Cruz, but he's just so fast on the turf, and usually there's no catching him. He doesn't fall back too much.
He went wire to wire on the synthetic, so I don't know if you equate that with dirt or you can equate that with turf. Many people equate it more with turf, but
look at Brooks. I mean, all of his horses are running really well down here, and they're all coming off of the synthetic.
Anyway, and he's going to be a price, and you know, in our 10-race card today, I thought that was kind of the priciest of them all.
Do, right?
Fourth race, scratch C4. I lost on the stairs in the fourth. Jackie goes to the 3 here, My Adeline. That is from John Carlisle barn. Looks to be maybe pace of the race. She does.
And you know what, this horse is coming back, and I think just trying to find its rhythm again. Had a little bit of time off between December and June of this year, but other than that, I mean, this horse's Charlestown form is very consistent. Been running the 6.5 and winning almost every time at that distance, and I took that into effect because she knows how to get around these tight turns. Some horses don't like it.
That's perfect. That's exactly it. I mean, a second and a third. She's got experience here at the Big T. Appears to be in okay form coming into the race, and in for the nickel this afternoon. I went with a horse that I loved last week, Loved, loved, and that was number 5. It's a Trend. Well, wound up favored in the race, actually at 3.5 to 1. A 10-year-old Jiff Quick was the winner, but did have a bit of an excuse last week. She had a troubled trip in behind horses and had a little trouble a couple times in the race, so didn't really get to flaunt her speed at all, or tactical speed. So I think she'll maybe sit right off of My Adeline. I just hope she runs better this afternoon. If I loved her last week, I got to come back one more time, right?
I know, I'm the same way. I always play that angle too, and I love him last week. I want to bring him back. But Jiff Quick is an old war horse. I think he's made over 250. Is that what? He's made a lot of money, and he's pretty quick. So, you know, he never came back. He just went to the lead. But her form also hasn't been too bad at Penn. But as you said, I want her to stay closer to the leader today.
Right. So Jackie 3-2-6-5. I went 5-7. 6 and 3 with another Annette Eubanks angle in there with Stormy Mama coming off of 2 solid races. She could be kind of a horse to sit and pounce, and has won at the distance in here at Stormy Mama. All right, let's go to the 5th on the card, and that will start the Rainbow Pick 6 as we move along on our Timonium program for Sunday afternoon. Scratch the 6, Nosy Josie, and the 7, Rosarai, I guess is how you say it for Samurai. Rosarai, out. Doesn't make any difference, so I have to say it today. Oh. So you,
I must have changed my picks. I wrote down the wrong scratches because I had Nosy Josie and My Star Potential.
While you talk about your top pick, then I'll double check that for you.
It's okay. Right. No, I think I just marked down the scratches wrong, but I did have Hammy Smith on top here because. Actually, the 5 and the 6, which I thought were scratch, which I don't think the 5 is now. But I actually like Claudio's if he's in as well. I'll have to go back and change that. Hammy Smith, this damn buff girl, she's had one 2-year-old that has won. So I'm going with that angle today. 2-year-old, first-time starter here. Hammy's really good with his first-time starters. He's only 8% this year, but they're always very well-schooled. Hammy does a good job. They're fit. You don't have to be fit going for long, as I've noticed. They can hold their breath and still win. But this horse has got some good bullet breezes coming into here. I think the horse is well-spotted today.
A bandbox filly, and a lot of those, we've heard a lot of good things about, how they look, he hasn't had a winner yet, but this could be kind of the breakthrough run. There we go. Race 5-7, Rosarai scratched as the internet failed to cooperate in time. So, yeah, it's a 6 and 7 are out of the 5th race. So, Silverside's a bandbox filly. We've heard a lot of good things about how good looking they are. He hasn't had many horses hit the track yet to run in the afternoon. Love those bullet works. Love those bullet works 4 foals out of that dam by Quiet American. Buff Girl. With the bullets, with Hammy Smith reputation and getting horses ready. It's a Hillwood bred, and it's owned by Kathleen Willier, who's had some really, really nice 2-year-olds from the Ham Smith barn as well in the past. So you got to be able to think he can run. She can run a little bit.
I agree, and I'm pretty sure Hammy had a first-time starter here the other day. I want to say Friday. One day, but he's very good at what he does. He's been in this game a long time, so I have to put Hammy Smith. And I think she'll be a bit of a price as well.
And something we all are, that is tempted by Tito's, particularly an unknown individual in the press box that we know. That's a first-time starter by Temple City, who's by Dynaformer. This is 4 furlongs dirt at Timonium, but maybe she'll have early speed. John Robb looking to click with a breakthrough win for the meet. Maybe he'll get one a little earlier today with Stay on Point.
I agree, and this is the dam's first foal. It's a homebred. I'm not sure if John Robb trained the same mare, but homebred, they bred her. They love her, obviously, but has some fast works under her belt. Has she's got that 5 furlong going a minute, and that's really fast for a 2-year-old.
And the 4, Flatter Me Owen, a common pick in here. Change of equipment, blinkers off. For those of you who like the blinkers off angle, and there's good reason to like her, she was 3rd in her debut behind Helen, a filly I've talked about a few times on this show. I think she's going to be nice. And the runner-up in there, Bye Bye Birdie, came back to win Break Her Maiden. She was a handy winner at Laurel. So Flatter Me Owen getting the blinkers off today. I went to the 5 here, My Star Potential. That's the Claudio Gonzalez barn. She's by Tri-Tap and the Dam. Cheers Darling. Is it Cheers Darling? Yes, it is. By Cuvée, 1 first time out. So the Tri-Tap 2-year-olds have been running. 3 winners from 11 foals, 16% out of a win early dam. I'm hoping she can run first out and hit the winner's circle, get the picture taken for Euro Stable. Interesting race, the 5th race here. A few angles, a lot of ways to go.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm actually going to put Claudio back on my ticket. I'll change that. I had that horse.
So you're going to use the 5 on your ticket. Okay. Let's go to the 6, scratch the 1, Beyonda. Scratch the 6, Rhythm and Moves. In the 6th race, our late pick 5 of the afternoon. Jackie goes 5-8-2-9, and More Than Treasure. Claim, Time Away, coming back. That's the question, but that was a strong race back in December, but it was last year in a different barn.
Exactly, and that horse is more than capable to be really fast. Obviously, this is going to be first off the claim for Phil. You know, again, you don't need to be fit to run 4 furlongs. This horse doesn't need to do much, doesn't need much of a work tab, obviously, but I think this horse is well spotted, has shown a ton of speed in the past, and Phil's been coming in hot too. He's got a couple wins on for the meet.
My only concern with her is kind of a spotty work record after the layoff, July 14th and August 5th, and 20 days later, I don't know. So I went to the Aiden here, Choice Prospect, a filly who beat the boys last week. I think it was the opening race of the meet. Second race of the day. It was here at the Big T last week. She beat the boys in a non-winners of 2, putting up a good number. I'm not sure about that 23-4 opening quarter. That's what they went with, but I know because she's been faster than that before in the past, and she's shown really good speed on the turf. So I'm just thinking now she's back against her own type here, and she's going to come back with a quick turnaround and use her speed. They're going to go with her.
I agree, and I like this horse too. I had this horse second on my ticket, I'm sure, and I thought she ran a really big race last out. And then the race back in July, she was 3 across the track. All 3 were the speed, and it just looks like she got tired at the end. She only has to go 4 furlongs today. That race was 5.5 on the turf, but those were pretty fast fractions that day too. They went to half and 44. Turf carries a little bit.
Yes.
But she's still. I mean, when you're dueling with 3 or 4 across, and you're using more ground than the rest of them.
Score early and often. Another Carlisle runner today. First off the claim into the barn here as well. So maybe can strike, but claim for 10 and in for nickel this afternoon. She's got some speed to her outside, so I don't know what kind of tactics he'll use. Guess she'll try to go.
I agree. John Carlisle, I think, is Charlestown trainer. I assume it's these types of races and these types of tracks are all speed and all set for a good position. It's hard, unless you're rocking on by, it's really hard to be 15 out of it and make up all that ground. But
speaking of shipping trainers, Carlisle, Flint Stites makes an appearance again. This is only his second starter at Timonium. I didn't realize that. Ships a lot to Laurel, right, occasionally. But Atlantic Avenue yesterday ran third with the Stites barn. Came back a little layoff in the same conditions on the turf. Now comes back to the dirt. She's got that Charlestown-type speed on the outside to try to clear up. She'll probably be the pest to choice prospect at some point on the turn, like our fly here on the set.
I know,
that keeps buzzing around, right?
I keep getting in the face with it. No, I like the horse today. Again, tried the turf last out, didn't really have. Turf racing is so hard. I mean, and this time, as this season goes on, people are jamming their horses in. But I went back to that Charlestown race and showed a lot of speed. I'm not concerned about the 9-hole. I think she does have the speed to get clear.
All right, 7th race, no scratches in here. This is a really good race. We've got Child's Play coming back. Bodega Bay off a sharp turf win. Mila Jane, who's been super sharp. A lot of ways to go. Morning line favorite is Toby Girl. And you went to the inside with Badnana from the Hugh McMahon barn. A contentious race here. She looks like she's going to be speed stretching out from 6.5 at various tracks in the Mid-Atlantic out to the mile and the 16 today.
Yeah, and if you look back at her form in the spring at Pimlico and Penn, she was your speed going that sort of distance. So I think, and breaking from the 1 hole, I think she's just going to be right there. But she can sprint or go long. That's what I love about her. She's versatile. And last out, Camille's Comet was the speed that day. She had a really good trip, but Camille's Comet got the lead and went on.
I went to the 3 in here, Mila Jane, looking for continued good form. She's won 2 her last 3 in the Gonzalez barn, 3 of her last 4 all total before the claim there. They're protecting her, putting into a nice allowance, field optional allowance, claiming they like what they've got. I mean, now I thought that win last time visually impressive over Emma's Diamond Diva. Rider didn't need the stick, lost the stick, didn't really matter, didn't really need to really rouse her at all. She went on to win. So I'm looking for a repeat run. Hopefully she likes the Big T. She's never been here at this track before.
And I don't think this horse likes to sprint, obviously. They tried her the 5.5 at Laurel back in July. She's coming off a really impressive win. And Claudio is 22%.
Well, I don't think she's going to be on the lead. Your horse will probably go to the lead. I'm hoping to start. I hope they don't get any kind of craziness out there.
I just like that she's going to be closer going this distance rather than have to make up all that ground.
How about Bodega Bay for the Anthony Farrier barn, turf to dirt, and I just love the way that she surged in the non-winners of 2 on the grass last time out. Looks like they've got a good claim. So if she doesn't run well today, they've got some turf options coming up next week at Laurel if they went or all fall long, actually. So I don't know. I don't know whether she can dirt to turf it, but she's by Bodemeister. She should like the dirt. She's run okay on the dirt at Churchill Downs back for the maiden 50 level last year when she was 2 in November.
I agree. I didn't actually take too much of a peek at this horse, but I think that's why I thought she was just liking the turf a bit better than she liked the dirt.
Many options for her coming along through
Definitely.
the fall. So Jackie went 1.357 and went 3.651. On to the 8th with 33 minutes to post time. Has got to pick up the pace a little bit here.
Let's go.
In the 8th race, I went 1.259 calculated thinking. I didn't do much thinking about this one because I just think that he's got some good numbers. Last time out was taken back a little bit today. I think J.D. Acosta will take a more aggressive stance from the rail.
And that's what I noticed as well. This horse looks like he either is hard to rate or might be lugging out a little bit around the turns at Laurel. So
You're right about that.
So he can't do that here. He's got to save ground, and so hopefully maybe an equipment change, whatever they might have done.
I remember that now that she said it, right?
Yeah, I was watching Wes, and he was kind of taking different crosses, and I was like, is he hard to rate, or is he just getting out? I'm not sure. So can't do that here around the Timonium.
You went to the 6, and that is a Balladeer. Here we go with Claudio again. Off the claim, he ran good third last week behind Tambora. It was kind of a contentious maiden 20 race. I remember talking about the race with Stan. Rail Master with the speed. Balladeer was off the claim. Tambora was off the claim to a trainer change. There were 3 or 4 horses of that maiden 20 who had every right to win.
I pick Claudio every time he's got a horse in. I told him I'm sorry. I really need to stop picking him because maybe I'm jinxing him. But Tambora and Rail Master that day were much the best. So going stretching out the 6.5. I mean, in for the maiden 10, took the drop and stretching out. I always like that angle.
Yeah, looking at his pedigree last week, I remember thinking or saying that he would want longer, and here he goes. He gets an extra furlong and a half, two and a half furlongs actually. So today, going 6.5 off the claim, second time out, and they drop him into the 10 level. Jackie went 6-9, 1 and 2. I went 1, 2, 5, and 9. Ninth race, scratch the 8. Coach Adams and number 1, Big City Blues. I've seen this horse run some dazzlers in the past at Laurel. Remember that race back April 8th? Very good effort. 23-1, 47, 58-4, 111. Gritty victory over Mayo Desperado at Laurel. Cooked on the slop gate to wire. I guess that race last time out against Pete's Play Call was a very, very tough race. We talked about that race yesterday a little bit. Broke a beat slow from the gate. That took him kind of out of his game, and then angled 4 wide to pick up pieces and actually ran a very creditable fourth there.
Yep, and that last race I thought was a key race because Pete's Play Call, Saratoga Bob, those were all really nice horses and running again and ran very well. Only beaten 3 lengths, doing very well in the Gaudette barn, and I just think coming out of tougher races than what we have here today.
All right, I went to the 3 So Long Chuck, second time for the Jamie Ness barn. A 79 moderate figure, but looking at the rest of the races that day at Delaware Park, the fractions were strong, and that was a pretty good number for that day at Delaware, all things considered, against some not what wasn't a stellar card from top to bottom, but I like the figure. I like the fact that he can improve off that number for Jamie Ness. I don't think I've caught Ness once this meet, right? So in the 1-2 spots, he's run a couple of horses, and he was split mini exacta, and the one that he did win, I didn't have it all. So maybe today's the day. So long, Chuck.
And I went back to his Tampa form and how well he went that 6.5 and was proven there, won by 3 lengths that day. So I threw out. He's still run really well at Presque Isle, but I just kind of threw out those races. I like the distance he's at today and taking a little bit of a step up, but Jamie knows what he's doing.
And speaking of step up, 7 Magicians Calendar steps from the nickel of the $15,000 level. Claimed this runner back early August. Looks like Molchimar, Casey Cartagena like what they have.
Well, this horse was claimed last out after a major, major drop. And this horse, he has really decent form. I think this is a sneaky good claim for Casey today.
Well, yeah, he was much the best last time out. A softer field, but he's run against a little bit better in the past. So they're trying to get his old mojo back here, Magician's Calendar. 1-7-5-4, I went 3-4-1-5. One more to go, and that's scratch the 10th race, scratch the 2, KK's Princess. Finally, we agree. I don't think it's the only race we agree in, but one of the few we do. I'm going with Beth Wharton in here. I'm considering this horse, filly, a first-time starter. I know she's run twice, but she gets blinkers on for the first time today. Comes out of a solid maiden 25 effort on the turf. It's produced a couple of winners. Didn't pick up her feet. Now they add the blinkers. Well, the first time in a pretty, in a pretty good spot, breaking on the rail. And it's all or nothing deal, I think.
Yeah, I agree. In that last race, going a mile on a 16th, she just looked very tired. That last part. Jockey went to kind of get her ready and went to use his stick, and she was just she was faltering and moving all around.
Okay, so maybe the reason for the blinkers to kind of...
No, I think it was just so tired. So I like the horse going 6.5 today.
Okay,
yeah.
just a short
she ran really well up to that point. The last furlong, maybe, she was just exhausted.
We both like Justin Arch. The second spot, agree of the top 2 picks. The blinkers on. There's another blinkers angle. The Carl Duran barn horse dropping to the lowest level. If she can run back to the first race behind Lily Ray, who was kind of the speed that day, run back to that 42 number, it's lights out. It could be over, especially if the one doesn't fire with the addition of the equipment.
Exactly, and that's the race I keyed on was Lily Ray. She went pretty fast that day, and nobody caught her, obviously. She just got to the front and went away. So ran a good race, and blinkers on. Not sure why. I didn't see anything really in the last races to put the blinkers on. Just looked like she got a little tired.
Okay.
So Carl must, he's a trainer. He must see something in the morning and the afternoon.
We're a little bit behind, but you have the 8 cheerful account of first-time starter in there. I mean, any notes on her that maybe?
The dam hasn't thrown much, and Ann just went with the angle of dropping him right in. So I think she's just trying to get the win. I think she likes the horse. Went right in for the maiden 5. Love that.
All right, Jackie, that's it for our 10-race card today. You'll be back on with Stanton Salters. He'll be here between races with you all afternoon long. It's been a pleasure handicapping with you. Our Sunday card at Timonium, 10 big races and a fast track. Enjoy your day here at the Big T.
And good luck.
Good luck.